Welcome to The Late Show. I am your host, Stephen Colbert, and ladies and gentlemen, things are not going well for Donald Trump today. Half of Congress absolutely hates him, and the Democrats aren't fond of him either. I'll tell you all about it in tonight's Don and the Giant Impeach.
I don't like to be the sucker.
Now, a lot of people have been saying up to this point, people have been musing publicly, when's the constitutional crisis coming? Well, mark your calendar, tattoo it on your forehead, and flip off your boss, because it's here. This afternoon, the White House delivered on their previous obstruction of justice with an official letter telling the House of Representatives that Trump will not cooperate with their impeachment inquiry. Yes, Trump... Don't get him wrong. Don't get him wrong. Trump would like to help with their inquiry into his conversation with Ukraine, but tragically, he has developed phone spurs. The White House got there. The White House made the announcement in an officially bitchy 8-page letter to Congress, writing, given that your inquiry lacks any legitimate constitutional foundation, any pretense of fairness, or even the most elementary due process protections, the executive branch cannot be expected to participate in it. Wait. You can't just not participate in your own impeachment? Sir, you are charged with assault and battery. How do you plead? Pass? Oh my. Can I buy a vowel? I would like to. Now, the letter is full of absolutely bonkers arguments, telling the Democratic leadership, you have denied the president the right to cross-examine witnesses. The witness is Trump's incriminating phone transcript, which he released. If he wanted to, he could cross-examine himself. Where was I on the night of the phone call? I was on the phone. Aha! Well, let me ask you this. If that's the case, did you get any dirt on Joe Biden? Now, the letter, the same letter, goodbye, Matt. The letter winds on, the president cannot allow your constitutionally illegitimate proceedings to distract him and those in the executive branch from their work on behalf of the American people. The president has a country to lead. Yes, and it's Ukraine. He's leading them straight into Putin's arms. Come to Papa. Now, this letter came to the House just hours after the House was all set to hear testimony from Ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland, seen here realizing, I'm going to jail for that guy? House Democrats want to ask Sondland about a series of texts he sent to the former ambassador to Ukraine, which revealed that Trump put pressure on the Ukrainians to investigate Joe Biden. But Sondland's lawyers learned the administration wouldn't let the ambassador testify after the State Department left a voicemail last night at 12:30 a.m. First off, State Department, just text. Nobody wants to listen to voicemail. Also, people who call that late only ever want one thing. Hi. Hey, Gordon, yeah, hey. Hey, yeah, it's me, the Undersecretary for Trade Negotiations. I was just calling because I was thinking about how much I want you not to testify tomorrow. Gordon, what are you not wearing? Now, according to House Intelligence Chairman Adam Schiff, Sondland's testimony is not the only thing the White House is blocking.
We are also aware that the ambassador has text messages or emails on a personal device. The State Department is withholding those messages as well. The failure to produce these documents, we consider yet additional strong evidence of obstruction of the constitutional functions of Congress.
And obstruction of an impeachment inquiry is itself grounds for impeachment. This whole thing is like that MC Escher print, hands cuffing themselves. But Trump, the kids love Escher jokes. They love But Trump insists that he has done nothing wrong, has nothing to hide, tweeting, "I would love to send Ambassador Sondland, a really good man and great American, to testify, but unfortunately, he would be testifying before a totally compromised kangaroo court." First, you know this is Congress and not a court, right? Second, you also know there are no actual kangaroos. There's no koala bailiff, no dingo judge, the gavel's not a boomerang, and the jury is not all crocodiles Dundee. I ask because the whole kangaroo metaphor, this theme, has been popular among Republicans. Take Florida Representative and star of Frat Baby, Matt Gaetz.
What we see in this impeachment is a kangaroo court, and Chairman Schiff is acting like a malicious Captain Kangaroo.
Chairman Schiff is acting like a malicious Captain Kangaroo. Trump's being railroaded by the terrifying Thomas the Tank Engine. This whole thing is a load of howdy doody and is brought to you by the letters F and U. Congress, I'm mad. No, I'm still in character as Matt Gaetz.
I will not take it. Oh, put it down.
Congress still wants to hear from the original whistleblower who started this whole thing, and they're taking every precaution. In fact, House Democrats are considering masking the identity of the whistleblower from Trump's GOP allies in Congress. Hold on. The whistleblower is defending democracy and gets to wear a mask? Is it this guy? The Democrats... Thank you, Cap. I don't know who it is. The Democrats are also considering having the whistleblower alter his voice, possibly with modification technology. Possibly with modification technology. What other way would they possibly do it?
President Trump has betrayed our nation's core ideals and turned his back on all that we stand for. He must be removed from office before democracy erodes beneath our feet. I say this not just as a patriot, but as a member of the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild. I represent the Inspector General. And we'd like to go and drag your ass to jail now. Oh, that's good. That's a high. That's a high.
Get it all in. Get it in.
Loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful.
Thank you. We're awesome.